interesting is that the yoga, and Tia keeps referring to our asanas as a dance between Shiva and Shakti, which is the male and female essence or god. Shiva is the male god and Shakti is the female god. And it's this balance of male and feminine energy that we all need in our lives. And that's actually really interesting because that's the oppression of the divine feminine energy is what we're seeing in our modern society, and the rebellion against that. So all of the Me Too campaign is this divine energy saying no more, we're not going to be oppressed anymore. The patriarchy has oppressed females long enough. They've oppressed their minds, they've oppressed their bodies, they've oppressed their souls. But also men have been suppressed in this process. They have also basically been told that they need to be strong and unemotional and stern, and in the process they have been unable to show their emotion. I just also wanted to recap on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Morning! These ancient scripts, basically people thousands of years ago were looking for ways to reach enlightenment, like how do they become one with their divine essence, with their inner being, with consciousness. They were looking for a process to follow, and that's basically what birthed the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which is 198 sutras of guidelines, basically. So guidelines of how you should live your life, the things you should do, what practices you should follow. And out of that 108 sutras came 8 limbs of yoga. And as we know, asana, which is the movement, which is the postures, is just one limb. And actually, in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, they don't even actually mention any of the postures. Asana refers to as being seated. So that's really interesting for me. Like, they weren't even doing yoga postures back then, but it wasn't until later, till the Tantras developed Hatha yoga, where they realized, you can't sit down to meditate, which was the whole purpose of following these sutras, meditation and inward introspection to reach the state of enlightenment. You can't sit down and meditate for hours with your body full of crappy food, with stiff hips, stiff spine. You have to be open. You have to be filling your body with nutrients. Last night we finished Niyamas, which is the second limb. Basically, the second limb is how you should behave towards yourself. So Saucha is the first one, purity. So how do you purify your body? So that's by eating correctly, and there's lots of other practices that people used to do. They used to flush their nose with salty water to clear the passageway for prana, which is life force, and breath. And they used to also do things like enemas to clear their systems out. We also talked about Santosha, which is the name of the yoga school. So Santosha is the second of the niyamas, and it means to be content no matter what the situation. If someone can throw you in jail, but you can still be in paradise or not upset your paradise, then you are in Santosha. The practice for a yogi is to cultivate Santosha in all things. How do they remain calm? How do they remain content? How do they cultivate that happiness in their life no matter what? It gives you practical ways, practical ideas of how do you incorporate this into your life. And I have been looking for, myself personally, different practices to improve our lives. How do we cultivate happiness in our lives? How do I create a life that is full of joy, is aligned with my dharma, with my purpose? How you conduct yourself in your life. Are you practicing ahimsa, non-harming? Are you practicing satya, truthfulness? Practicing, kindness to yourself? How are you behaving with other people? How are you behaving to the environment? How are you treating Mother Nature? Are you taking everything? And another concept was tapas, which means austerity. So can you set tapas for your week? So, for the next week I'm not going to eat meat. And you set your tapas for that week. And if you complete that tapas, it's said to give you energy, and that energy creates a fire and that fire it powers you, it's self-fulfilling, it gives you more energy to do other things and set other goals. Yeah, and as I was just saying, like, I am loving this so much because I'm finding it so practical. Like, I'm finding it so useful to apply in my own daily life. Like, how do I apply yamas? How do I apply niyamas? How do I recognize, how do I catch myself in those moments where my samkaras, which is my projection or past experiences on the present experience, how do I catch myself before I react? And you know, this is what yoga is about, this is what meditation is about, because it gives you that space, that quiet space that allows you to practice that moment where you can catch yourself and you don't overreact and say something that you're going to regret or act from a place of fear. You know, it allows you the chance to actually act from a place of love, which is all about what yoga is. It's all about acting from a place of love, loving yourself, loving others, loving your body, loving the earth, loving animals. And yeah, it gets me really excited.